It seems like James Corden has committed the cardinal sin of existing because currently it looks like everyone just wants to rip a piece out of him and take a shit on him. And man, this time it's Sunnyv2 doing the shitting. So this is going to be pretty interesting. We already have seen a James Corden video not too long ago. So yeah, the more James Corden hate, honestly, the merrier. It puts a smile on my face. Let's hope it puts a smile on your face.
James Corden has slowly developed one of the worst reputations in media history, and the foundation for his decline began when people started to realize that James Corden was a completely different person when he wasn't on camera. As an actor...
Yeah, we already know this. His personality was 100% completely fake. He just looked nice on the camera, and when the cameras were off, he was a complete asshole to absolutely everyone around him. Which is an easy way to get the internet slowly but surely talking about you, how much of an asshole you truly are, not the nice guy persona that you're constantly showing off. A classic, honestly.
And the main host of The Late Late Show, James presents as a happy, polite, easygoing comedian whose goal is to simply make the audience laugh. Although there's a mountain of evidence showing that in his private life he's the exact opposite to this, with his rude nature developing after he first became...
Also, didn't he pretty much destroy The Late Late Show? I mean, it was already in a really bad time, as much as I understand, for America, but I'm pretty sure he is the person who was contributed to destroying The Late Show. Like, he completely fucked it over. Almost to the same level as Lily Sings with her Late Show. Oh, these Hollywood types.
Famous back in 2008. As a result of his excellent performance on a British TV show called Gavin and Stacey, James would win the British equivalent of an Oscar, although accompanying this award...
The British equivalent of an Oscar. No one cares about Oscars already. Like, the Emmys, the Oscars, the this, the that, the Twitch Awards, all garbage. No one fucking gives a shit. And this guy received the downgrade of already something that people perceive as garbage. Well played, James. Well played.
Award was an ego boost that began to get out of control.
You can start to think you're perhaps a bit more of a dude than you really are. And that very much happened to me. You know, I had a swagger in my walk.
As mentioned, James Corden's sudden explosion into fame led him to believe that he was more of a dude than he really was, which would eventually translate into him treating everyone around him like garbage. James explained that as 2008 wore on, it got so bad I was being rude to my agent, and I even started being rude to Ruth. If I was in company and the conversation wasn't revolving around me, I would just switch off. In addition to being rude to everyone around him, Corden began to live a typically irresponsible, newly famous lifestyle.
I'd started going out quite a lot. This door had opened to this world that I thought looked...
Wait. Haven't we already heard this? Or am I mistaken? Was this not in the exact previous video? Like, we already know about pretty much everything here. It's from the last video. Okay.
Looked like fun, where people go, you're amazing, you're great, can I have a photo, do you want a drink, come out with us.
Oh no, this
so
wasn't.
You just end up on this path of just 3 AM cab rides with people you don't know,
or
heading across London to someone's house who you don't know either, with a group of people who think it's amazing that you're there. This is an intoxicating thing to be part of.
All of which being noticed by another Gavin and Stacey actor, Rob Brydon.
Admittedly, that's extremely true. People love to be the center of attention. People hate taking responsibility, but people love being the center of attention. So it's an interesting thing. People want to be leaders because they get the attention and glorification, but they don't want to be leaders because that means that they need to take on responsibility. It's an interesting mix between that. But yeah, the most fundamental human emotion, in my opinion, is self-justification, attention-seeking, and all of that stuff. You need to be justified. You need to be approved by other people. You need to be right.
Who explained that when he first met James Corden 6 years prior, he was very impressed by him, yet after winning the Oscar award, James Corden was on a roller coaster. This boy from High Wycombe, and he's suddenly enjoying the fruits of his success, and he just lost his way for a bit. He was burning the candle at both ends and becoming ratty and irritable. James Corden claimed that his streak of irresponsibility came to an end after attending 18 months of therapy, although even after this, there were still countless examples of him treating people like garbage. For example, James Corden stated in a BBC4 interview that he needed to bully his way to the top of the media world, which can be observed in certain events such as...
I think this is new. Wait, no, that's... we already know this one, boys.
The time he'd get into a public argument with another incredibly respected actor, Patrick Stewart, whilst on stage.
When the presenters are up here and when the recipients are receiving their awards, don't stand at the back of the stage with your hands in your pockets, looking around as though you wished you were anywhere but here.
Oh, you couldn't be more wrong, sir. And if it looked like that, I'm so sorry. But when you come up and present an award, just get on with it.
After Patrick Stewart would confront James about looking disinterested during the presentation, the argument would escalate in front of everyone.
Oh boy.
Sorry, I'm waiting for the punchline. Go on. No, seriously, go on.
Okay.
No, go on. You can see my belly, and we can all see you dying right now. Let's go for it. Here we go.
Which was concluded by James and Patrick bickering in the background while someone else was talking on the microphone.
Yeah, we know this. This is like the highlight of his career. This is pretty much when people start to hate him a lot because everyone loves Professor X. Or, you know, from the lame fucking pew 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 StarCraft. No, Star Wars, but not Star Wars in space. Beam me up, body.
Now, to cut James some slack, Patrick Stewart was probably in the wrong here, considering he was the person who began the argument.
Oh,
interestingly, after James Corden gave him a very favourable introduction.
What was really confusing about it was that I gave him like a massive intro.
Yeah, I know.
I said, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome an actor who's held in such high esteem. Please welcome the brilliant Sir Patrick Stewart. And then he came up and did that.
Although James still decided to engage and clap back with a few jabs of his own, so it's safe to say that he also had some degree of responsibility.
Yeah, talk shit, get hit. If someone challenges you, you fucking don't mess around, boy. You fucking come right at him. Even if it is everyone's favorite dick boy.
Other examples of similar situations where James has acted rudely, however, only after being provoked by someone else first. Countless paparazzi videos show James walking through Los Angeles looking quite angry and disinterested, although having a camera involuntarily shoved into your face probably doesn't facilitate the best environment for a good mood. There was also the time when Ed Deck played a prank on James Corden, attempting to make him late for work, although considering they were literally going out of their way to make him angry, James probably gets another pass here. However, when James Corden would post one of the most brutal Reddit Ask Me Anythings in internet
we know
history,
this one, I
three
think.
fan interactions were highlighted, which James had absolutely no excuse for. Hey James, you won't remember me, but me and my friend sat at a table next to you and Harry Styles.
Wait, I know
others
this one.
in Manchurian Legends in London's Chinatown about 6 years ago. We didn't bother.
Yeah, this is the same information from the other video, the Reddit thing. People shat on him like there was absolutely no tomorrow. And he completely just ran.
You, but you were a massively entitled dick who yelled and treated the waitstaff like shit, and when one of my party politely suggested you calm down, you got really aggressive and threatening. So my question is this: why did Harry seem so cool while you were such a massive throbbing bellend? This post was followed by another which read, I went to a James Corden live recording a while back. He had nearly zero interaction with the audience before/after the show, and was on his phone entirely during commercial breaks.
Wait.
I guess that's his prerogative. He may have...
Wait. I remember this one. This was also in the previous video we watched. The first one, the Reddit thing, that's kind of fucking understandable, right? Because that has 4.1k upvotes, and that's a lot of people with no life and no real world obligatory things to do that can do that. But this is a 60 fucking upvote post right there. And was in the previous video also. Sunny, this is a little bit too similar, I think. Admittedly, I don't perfectly remember that last video. I'm gonna link it into the... I'm gonna pin it at the top comment if anyone's interested. It's also a video about James Corden, and currently a lot of information seems to overlap, especially this part. Because I 100% remember, I think this was 100% in the previous video. And picking a 60 upvote comment just randomly there? I don't know. Were there only 2 comments, people saying how much they dislike James Corden? Hard to believe. And yeah, this part with Picard also was already there. The start, kind of similar also. You know, attributing his success. I'm pretty sure that's how the other videos... Okay, well, let's not be judgmental. We're gonna be a hell of a judgmental later on if there's more similarities that I can remember. Woohoo! Sunny, have you stooped so low? Because there is a thing, by the way, with channels like Sunny's. Like, you can figure out a niche, like Sunny, or for example, Jake Tran, if you haven't seen the previous video. And at the very start, if you are good at accumulating information and picking the most interesting information, you can make a couple of extremely good videos that will absolutely, most likely, skyrocket. And this is what Sunny did, this is what Jake Tran did. But the problem is, those really, really good videos and really, really cool subjects, they run out really, really fast also. They run out as fast as you make them. Because usually in a sphere of subjects, there's only like a couple of those really interesting things that you can technically report on through video documentary style videos and essays.
I went to a James Corden live recording a while back. He had nearly zero interaction with the audience before/after the show and was on his phone entirely during commercial breaks. I guess that's his prerogative. He may have been having a bad day. I also realize it must be difficult to be on all the time, but I remember being extremely disappointed. By comparison, I've been to a Jimmy Fallon recording and a Letterman recording, and I can say with full conviction that those guys really seemed like they cared about their audience and worked their hardest to entertain them, even while the cameras weren't recording, which was followed by one final anecdote reading, "Massive dick in person." I saw a League of Their Own filming live. Through multiple tantrums over minor things at the production staff, with him being—
Wait, yes, this is also the exact same Reddit example that was in the other video. Boys, no, seriously, if you want to again, it was a while ago and I don't perfectly remember was everything this similar, but this Reddit shit is definitely the same as in the previous video. The examples, I think, are exactly spot on the same. And there were 3 examples, if I'm not mistaken, in the previous video. So, let's see.
Incredibly rude to them, which made the other regulars seem very awkward like it was usual. Between each take, the other celebs would be chatting amongst themselves, bantering about. James was glued to his phone. At the end of the filming, people got up to go get pictures with James, and he massively kicked off shouting at people to go away and go back to their seats, and the few he did let have pictures with, he was moody as. Seeing him like that made me realize everything you see of his on TV is a complete persona. When continuing on—
Oh, I think the other video's guy talked about VIP tent shit. Also. Huh. At least it's a little bit different, I guess.
Through the AMA, it becomes pretty obvious as to why James Corden only answered 3 different questions before calling it quits. Why are you, James, such a deeply unpleasant person? Did your parents raise you that way? Have you ever considered being funny or likable? James, are you aware that everyone thinks you're a hack and a talentless asshat? With his 3rd comment here relating to the next reason behind James Corden's decline. Many of his on-screen performances have simply been terrible. A petition requesting that James Corden not be cast in Wicked the movie gained close to 110,000.
Okay, this I think was not in the other video. Okay, but this Reddit part seems extremely similar. They even highlight 160 upload post. That's like, and this Patrick Stewart thing also, and the start. Well, yeah, well, admittedly, again, the comments pinned. If you want to compare these videos side by side, or the subject of the matter, what was said, go ahead.
Signatures, and after friends and—
Also, the reality of this is not the first James Corden video, and that guy's video was not the first James Corden video. There was probably a guy before all of them who already did almost the exact same information before and didn't blow up. This is how YouTube works. In reality, you could just rehash your old content after like a year or 2, because people just have flat out forgotten about it. It's the gold mine.
That James Corden will be hosting the TV show's 15-year reunion.
Oh, and you can steal other people's videos and just recreate them on your own behalf. So, I don't know if that's happening here. There was nothing with the Friends thing. There was nothing about the Wicked Witch. Wait, why is there a Friends thing?
reunion, he'd received Twitter responses such as, "Don't get me wrong, I've been wanting a Friends reunion since 2004, but if someone told me James Corden would be in it, I'd have told them
I
not
don't
to
remember
bother."
this.
James Corden adding the Friends reunion to the list of things he's ruined with his mere presence. Additionally, after starring as the main character in the 2019 film Cats, the movie received a 2.8 out of 10 star rating on IMDb, as well as reviews so awful that James Corden didn't even end up watching the movie himself. However, James stating that he didn't watch the movie wasn't the only thing that was interesting about this interview, as he'd also discussed another topic which had turned much of his audience against him: his beef with another talk show host, Bill Maher. In September of 2019...
I think, no, this was definitely not in that video, but the Reddit shit is so similar. Well, anyway, I'm gonna leave the link anyway here. I already started talking about it, so you might as well watch it. It's a good video also. But Bill Maher, or Bill Burr, or however you're supposed to pronounce his name, like, I'm not a big fan of him, but man, he is like 3 trillion times better than Corbin, so damn, that's not the guy you should actually try to clap at. He's most likely gonna destroy you, because, let's face it, no one cares about the UK. Literal shitstorm that never stops raining. No one cares. Don't challenge someone so much above you.
Bill Maher published an editorial about obesity, with the contents of such being discussed on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Look, you can't keep eating as much as you want and as shitty a food as you
True.
want. You just...
Oh, by the way, this is a thing that people don't know. You can actually eat extremely shitty food and still be skinny, or relatively skinny at least. No one's gonna really call you fat or anything like that, as long as you don't eat too much. The problem with all the shitty food is it tastes good, you know?
Can't.
That is not something that anybody wants to hear, though.
People loved it until James Corden said something.
As mentioned, James Corden wasn't too happy with these comments and would call Bill Maher out by making both some reasonable arguments.
Fragility. That's some serious ego fragility right there. Fat shaming. Yeah, well, fat shaming, I personally think fat shaming is absolutely great. Hey, there has never been a fat person who did not get shamed and magically just decide, you know what, today's the day I'm gonna change. Fat shaming has made more people skinny than skinny people fat. So, I call that a win.
If making fun of fat people made them lose weight, there'd be no fat kids in schools, and I'd have a six-pack by now.
As well as some awful ones, such as a zero personal responsibility statement that Bill Maher was simply lucky to have a body that burned more calories than him.
We're not all as lucky as Bill Maher, you know? We don't all have a sense of superiority that burns 35,000 calories.
Could have called him at least a crack addict or something like that. Or maybe then you get sued. Not sure.
A day.
Which Bill interpreted as the easy, low-risk way out of the argument.
He missed a great opportunity to literally save lives. He took the easy way out. Of course, you can always get applause for saying, oh, let's boo the mean man who's told the truth. That's not brave.
As is usually the case with these kinds of topics, there were supporters for both sides of the argument. However, James unnecessarily forcing himself into such a divisive conversation where people already disagree with him was probably a net negative toward his reputation, just like the time his carpool karaoke was outed for being.
This thing about reputation, his show I think was already kind of like in the gutters at that time. So, you know, doing this edgy stuff, I'm pretty sure he tried to do multiple things like that, you know, call people out and so on, because his show was in the absolute gutters. Like, no one wanted to watch it, so he was trying to do desperate shit to save it. I'm pretty sure that's how it went.
Being fake. The segment during which James Corden drives around singing songs with various famous musicians was called out by a user on Twitter in early 2020 after they noticed Justin Bieber and James Corden in a car, which wasn't being driven but rather being pulled on a trailer. The video would rack up over 14 million views, which prompted an incredibly hilarious response from James Corden himself, in which he would go ahead and debunk the claim that the series had been faked.
95% of the time, I really am endangering the lives of the world's biggest pop stars.
Yeah, kind of don't honestly believe that.
Here is a list of every carpool karaoke where I've used a toe, and this is a list.
Wait, let's see the pussies. Megan Trainor, no idea who he is. Migos, no idea. Cardi B, have heard. Chance the the rapper? No idea. Justin Bieber, 3rd time. So, why was 3rd time a pull? I don't get it.
This is a list of everyone where I
Don't believe it. Again, really hard to believe it.
was driving the car, okay?
Because if you're an egocentric maniac, like James Corden most likely is, the thing about that situation is, you value yourself above absolutely anything and everything. So, doing something dangerous like that could endanger others, no problem. Doing something that could potentially endanger yourself, now we have a problem. So, I kind of doubt this.
However, while Corden did a pretty good job of debunking these claims, there are still countless comments on every...
Also, he fucking put Harry Styles 2 times here. That is pathetic.
Claims, there are still countless comments on every carpool karaoke from people who never saw the debunk calling the videos fake. This all feels...
Well, yeah, people never see the debunk. People never see the retraction. People never see the edit. Because that's not how the world works. People consume the information one time, their opinions are set, their minds set, there is no turning back at that point. Unless something huge happens, so the next news is even bigger than the first, no one's gonna care, no one's gonna pay attention.
So fake when you know he's not actually driving. Fake news, James isn't actually driving. James Corden, stop cheating people with your carpool karaoke. Can't believe all these celebrities put up with this fake show. Next time at least drive the damn...
Dude, celebrities deal with so much fake shit. It's like, that's the most believable thing about that situation. It's that celebrities are willing to fake it.
Car. It seems like even when James Corden is in the right, his audience selectively decides that he's still in the wrong, which has also been speculated as part of the reason behind his recent announcement that he's leaving the public spotlight. On the 29th of April 2022, James Corden would upload a video to his YouTube channel titled James Corden Discusses His Late Night Future, in which he'd announced that he'd only be hosting...
Oh, there is no future. That at least puts a smile on my face, you know?
Hosting the show for 1 more year.
I've decided to sign for 1 more year on the show.
Okay, this information wasn't here, but I'm pretty sure that video that I watched previously, that one was like a year old or something like that, so this information could not even be added. But the Reddit part seems like almost word for word, phrase for phrase, pick for pick. Or maybe I'm just remembering incorrectly. Yeah, whatever.
Show, and that this will be my last year hosting the Late Late Show.
In a different interview, James Corden specified that his motive for leaving the entertainment industry was to spend more time with his family.
I don't want to do it forever. We're a really long way away from home, and we're a really long way away from people who are getting older, and we're a really long way from them if something should ever happen. And
that's a lot of edits.
However, many have speculated that being such a disliked celebrity has put an unbearable amount of pressure on him, which becomes especially obvious when looking at the comments regarding his retirement. James Corden is a talentless bag of garbage. Goodbye, good riddance. Finally, we don't want him anymore. Ruins everything he's involved in. Probably one of the most annoying people in the business, it seems. Please don't come back to the UK. Please don't come back to the UK. Please don't come back to the UK.
The UK should be a prison, like Australia.
With each of these comments being accompanied by flattering articles such as, farewell James Corden, you were an ass.
Well, that was pretty impressive. Interesting. So, I 100% remember the explanation in the first video that we watched about why James Corden is a celebrity, and it's because of that show. The Reddit thing was spot on. This part was also spot on. Wait. Also, do these parts just happen exactly one after another in the first video? Shit, this looks a little bit sus. That guy could milk it and say Sunny stole his video. I'm probably gonna fucking put a title that Sunny stole someone's video. The game, boys. It's a hamster wheel that never stops. Like and subscribe.